When the Jaguar I-Pace launched in 2019, it was a very unique offering in South Africa. But fast forward to 2023 and the competition has become much stiffer. Today, we have the updated Jaguar I-Pace and we want to find out if it can still hold its own within the electric car competition. But before we do that, let's quickly talk about what has changed with the updated model. In terms of aesthetics, it's very minor details. As we can see, we have got an updated front grille. The lower door sections of the vehicle have also been changed to match the body color of the car, and there is also a new rear diffuser. But besides that, it very much looks like the I-Pace that we've come to know and love. So inside the Jaguar I-Pace, you are met with this lovely combination of red and black leather. It is probably one of the most gangster electric cars I've actually driven. It does really have that road presence. But in terms of quality, as you can expect, being a Jaguar, everything is of high quality. All the things that you touch, all the things that you feel, they feel expensive. What I do like is that this car is quite smart. So we've got the new age Pivot Pro infotainment system, which works like a dream. You've also got a digital instrument cluster, and you've got the second screen here for your aircon and for your seat heating and seat cooling. This car does have some nice hidden features. You've got a lot of compartment space. So you've got space for drinks here. You've got a good compartment holder on that side there. You've got wireless charging, and you've also got a sneaky USB port that they've put on the inside over there. Headroom is always a sacrifice when you've got a sloping roof. But quite surprisingly, it doesn't feel that way in this I-Pace. And I think a large part of that has got to do with this panoramic sunroof. It gives this illusion of space, but it's not really an illusion because sitting here, I can tell you that this car is quite vast at the back. I've got plenty legroom space. As I mentioned, headroom is decent, and I've also got heated seats for the rear occupants, which is something you don't see often. You've also got two USB-C ports, and you can comfortably sit 3 people here at the back. Another nice little feature is that you've also got an aircon vent so that you don't burn when you're sitting at the back of the I-Pace. As you can imagine, the Jaguar I-Pace does have quite a big boot, and it's a very good looking car from the back as well. 656 liters of boot space is more than enough, but if you do opt to have a full-size spare, as is the case in this car, you do limit most of that boot space, and most of it actually gets taken up by the spare wheel. Like many electric vehicles, the Jaguar I-Pace is very easy to live with. Electric vehicles have got this ease of use because of the instant power and torque that they give you. So when you're zipping around in traffic, it's very easy to use this car because the moment you see a gap, you can quickly take it. This car produces 294 kilowatts and 696 Newton meters, which is a lot of power. As is the case with the majority of electric vehicles available in our market, you barely have to use the brakes of this car because they use one pedal technology. So if I lift off, the vehicle will brake the car. And what the vehicle is actually doing is that each time I lift off, it is regenerating the battery using kinetic energy. So it's a very smart way to conserve the battery and at the same time to conserve your brakes. The I-Pace does have a 90 kilowatt hour battery, which means you should be good for a realistic range of around about 350 to 450 kilometers. Interestingly, I put this car on a DC charger yesterday when I received it, and within 15 minutes, I was able to regain close to 40% of my battery back, which is very good. It's become quite easy for you to plan your route accordingly and ensure that you've always got the right amount of charge left in the car. When you're driving on the highway, it is very comfortable and you can actually feel that the car feels quite dynamic. But when you're driving on normal roads, you do feel the humps quite a bit. This car is set up in quite a dynamic fashion and it can be a little bit jarring at times. Electric vehicles are known to be very heavy, but in a car like this, you don't feel the weight. And another reason why that is the case is because this car is quite low. It's actually much lower than you think it is. Overall, this Jaguar I-Pace is a very nice car to drive. I've got very few faults about it besides the firm suspension. It's got a lovely Meridian sound system, and the space that the vehicle offers you is very good as well. These bucket seats, however, I'm not entirely sure of. I've tried to adjust them as much as possible, but they still feel quite firm. This Jaguar I-Pace is very similar to what we drove in 2019. The updates are very minimal in this car. The game has changed, however, with the introduction of the likes of the BMW iX, the BMW iX3, the Volvo C40, the Volvo XC40, the Audi e-tron, as well as the Mercedes-Benz electric offering out there. There's a lot to choose from. Before the competition came around, you could say you've got the most amount of power in this car. But now, the Volvo produces very similar outputs at 300 kilowatts and 660 Newton meters. So the USP to me is slightly gone. So is the Jaguar I-Pace still top of the pops in the electric vehicle segment in South Africa? Unfortunately, I would say no, and simply because of the price tag. At 2.4 million rand, this vehicle is significantly more expensive compared to its rivals such as the Volvo C40 and even BMW's iX. At that price tag, you can still get yourself much more electric car within the segment. Don't get me wrong, it's a stunning vehicle both inside and out, but at that price tag, there are better buys out there.